Welcome back, everybody. We are back with some more LCQ battles. This time, we're gonna have Rob Squad versus 123 E45, and their teams consist of Incineroar, Gengar, Groudon, Tapu Fini, Xerneas, and Lender Searing for Rob Squad's team. And for 123 E45's team, it's Metagross, Amoonguss, Tapu Koko, Yveltal, Kyogre, and Incineroar.
Yeah, so this is an interesting matchup. I think that after running Evil Ogre for a while, I think that Zerndon is usually one of the tougher things to face down. For the Gengar variant, it might make it a little more even, just because Rob Squad will have a hard time in Gengar to a matchup where he sees an Evil Tall in the field. But also, Josh's team is a little unorthodox compared to the more standard Evil Ogre composition. So
Right. He obviously has a Metagross, which is like his Mega, or most likely his Mega. Metagross being kind of good. I think Metagross is typically decent versus the Mint Zerndon comps, but versus Gengar, it's kind of tricky, just because um, like the Gengar could have Shadow Ball. It's faster. They also like these comps also have Landers, which also threaten the Metagross. So it would be this match would be interesting to say the least to see what goes down. So yeah,
I think that a lot of this match will be decided at team preview, just as when the players decide which four to bring and which expect their opponents to bring.
right.
Uh,
Also, another thing to take note: most of these comps, these Gengar Zardon comps, they tend to run Perish Song and kind of try to focus around that. But we do see an Incineroar Gengar lead from Rob Squad and a Yveltal Metagross lead from Josh, kind of taking advantage of the fact that his only lead versus Yveltal is Xerneas, and also having a Metagross on the field kind of neglect or not neglects, but like threatens the Xerneas right off the bat, just because it can Mega Evolve and it could be Iron Head, so it could be faster than the Xerneas. So
right, and now we see, and here the Gengar is under a ton of pressure from Evil Tall and Metagross. Both of them can threaten to KO it. Switch out before the Gengar Mega evolves, allowing it, which is the one turn it can, and the Incineroar goes for a U-turn, not clicking Fake Out and positioning the Groudon in uh, to to threaten the incoming Amoonguss.
right, that's actually a really really good play for Rob Squad, because now because he U-turned and Mega Evolved on the same turn as he predicted, he switched out into Groudon, and now he has a Mon that pretty much that threatens what's it called? He has a both these Mons threaten Amoonguss pretty much, and yeah. But however, he does have a. You can go. You can go.
On Josh's side, we see that not only does he have his speed control up, but now he just brought his Kyogre in, and which threatens, of course, not only the Groudon but the Gengar and the Incineroar in the back. Of course, also threatens the Gengar. Or come in, and the Gengar protects over to KO the Incineroar. However, of course, Josh cannot switch out because the Gengar is still on the field.
Right, and now we also see the Yveltal go for a Z Black Hole Eclipse as
We see
this.
the
Yeah,
Eviltal pick up the KO on the Gengar with the Z move, and Kyogre forced to use Ice Beam, unable to use Water types attacks due to the harsh sunlight.
right. But now the Xerneas is just free to set up a Geomancy here and kind of just sweep the end game with it. The only thing is the Yveltal could also set up a Tailwind for Metagross in the back, which threatens Xerneas, but it also threatens Groudon because of stopping Tantrum. So
Right,
yeah,
and on top of that, now that Eviltal managed to get Tailwind up, we see that the Xerneas is actually faster than the Eviltal, or it's a potential speed tie, max speed. Um, that nothing can really that Xerneas can kill Kyogre or Eviltal, and is the only. Huh, yeah, this is interesting. Sorry.
all right, good, good.
It might
awkward. You keep going, keep going.
It's an interesting situation where the Metagross is the Xerneas counter. However, it's being threatened by the Groudon. So we'll have to see whether or not this endgame and whether or not the Metagross and the Groudon.
Right. That was actually such a good play by a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, because not only does the Kyogre just kind of sit here, it's fat. Is it faster? I don't know if it's faster than a Xerneas right now, but the Metagross has to either go for. The Kyogre always goes for Ice Beam here since he already protected the last turn, but he wants to Ice Beam the ground on this turn, so that way it doesn't kill Metagross. And okay, we do see the Iron Head, and we do see the Groudon go down. So that's a pretty well played game by Josh right there, sealing out that end game with Metagross in the end game and just setting up Tailwind.
So. Yeah, and it looks like he knows his calcs because he went for the Sucker Punch onto Xerneas, potentially knowing that his Iron Head would need that little bit of chip damage to guarantee a KO.
Right. So another thing about both these players is that they're both at X1, right? But realistically, if one of these players loses, they still have to win one more, which is their last round in order to get a spot in a top cut. But if one of these players wins, then they already get a spot in the top cut just because they only need 4 wins to advance. So it will be this one will be pretty hard.
And so here we see an adjustment from Rob, leading with the Xerneas, threatening that Yveltal lead. And of course, the Groudon coming in to threaten the Incineroar.
Right. To me, this is a pretty good adjustment. The only thing is he could obviously go for a fake out, like he just did on the Xerneas instead of a Tailwind. But the thing is, now the Incineroar goes down to a critical hit, actually. But now the Kyogre comes in with Primordial Sea, and now it's just able to take out 2 knockouts right now, which will be super bad for robsquaadd if he were to.
Right, and Rob saying in chat that he didn't want that crit, that he wanted the Incineroar to survive, keep the rain off the field for at least another turn.
Right.
But instead, we see the Incineroar come in for the Groudon and the Xerneas protect, while the Metagross comes in, which of course puts pressure back onto the Xerneas.
Right, and now you can switch in Groudon, go for a Precipice Blades, while also a Geomancy. However, I don't know if Geomancy is personally the correct call. Just because if he goes for an Iron Head straight up onto Xerneas, then we know that it OHKOs just from game 1, and now he doesn't have any Intimidate pressure because he just lost his Instant. So yeah, one play that he could make though is that he could potentially bring in Gengar, Mega Evolve Protect, and then switch in Dawn, and then he would be in a super good position. Which he might actually do that right now. now that he brings it in. However, Josh could also go for the prediction and try to Stomping Tantrum, Ice Beam, and see if like that could KO the Groudon. But typically these Groudons on these teams are super bulky, so.
And we saw how much damage the Ice Beam did, and I don't think that the Stomping Tantrum would do enough to off. However, instead we see Josh take advantage of the fact that he can switch before Gengar Mega evolves and get the Kyogre out.
Right, and we do actually see the prediction from Josh, and now Josh is in a super good spot right now just because he has a Yveltal on the field that's both faster than Gengar or Groudon because of Tailwind, and we also see a Metagross on the field which can also OHKO his Gengar right now. And like these teams always struggling with opposing speed control, which is very unfortunate for robsquaadd.
So I don't think we know the Yveltal set all defensive and therefore might go down to a Fire Punch. We do see that the Xerneas comes back in and the Metagross protects while the Groudon also protects, and the Yveltal goes for the Z move
Yeah. Predicting the switch
and
in.
does almost half health to it.
Yeah. That switch in is actually super crucial for Rob Squad right here because the only thing now that well, I guess he didn't go for it. I was thinking that no, that makes sense. The Metagross is faster anyway, so ignore me.
But now we see the Metagross go down to a Fire Punch, and while Yveltal gets Tailwind up, Rob control of the weather if he wants to switch his Groudon out.
Right. We already seen the GGs happen in the chat. All Robert has to do now pretty much is or not Robert, all Josh has to do now is just keep going for Water Spout since nothing on this team can reliably take a Water Spout. Unless if he of course switches in Gengar and Sex, but even then he still has to give Yveltal on the field. So it will be super hard for Groudon to clutch out an in-game, especially when the Kyogre is going to be faster than this.
Yeah, if I were Rob, I would think that I need to double protect from Xerneas, because you need to die to a water move in order to kill the Yveltal.
Right.
We do see the Groudon switch out. We do see the double protect, which fails, and the water spout.
Who's going to come out?
Josh's Kyogre will get the double knockout and most likely end the game.
Right. Let me see. A foul play, Ice Beam. It does a crit, but it doesn't do enough, sadly. And it sadly misses a Ogre, so yeah.
and with that, Josh gets the 2-0 and will advance to top cut.
Right. Good games of both these players. We'll be back shortly after this to for the next round. So we'll be right back.